which side?
No, they're right here on my side. Right on my side. No. Let's film.
Wait.
Take my phone. Take my phone.
Wait, there's a couple of them. Just wait. Let me try and open on the end here.
I
don't know if they're fighting or mating, but either way we don't want to participate. Just not quite.
Oh, they're leaving. Shh. I think they're leaving. Shh.
Kitchen towel.
Testing.
Hi, how are you? Are you recording me now? Will you stay on or are you going to go off?
This is real life, but sometimes you think you charge something and then you don't.
Discovered we've got issues.
This is the test to see if the sound is working.
There's a flashing red light, the spanner with the exclamation mark, heavy corrugation. Still having problems with the lions fighting in our campsite.
We're Magda and Dave, and this is MustBeMad. Not just a name, more a formal diagnosis.
A while back, we sold our house, auctioned off everything, and moved into this. A very stylish, incredibly cramped four-wheeled shoebox. The plan? Travel the world. No return date, no fixed itinerary, just open roads and endless adventure.
And absolutely no prior experience in filming and presenting, so naturally we decided to document all of it. We capture the highs, the lows, the breakdowns, mechanically and emotionally, and all the moments in between where we question our sanity.
But life on the road is unpredictable, and that's what makes it worth sharing. So if you enjoy travel, adventure, and watching two people figure things out as they go, hit like, subscribe, and join us for the ride. We must be mad.
Go, go, go!
After crossing into Botswana at Pioneer Gate, we make our way to the eastern edge of the Kalahari Transfrontier Park, to Mabuasehube. It is a rugged, remote stretch of the Kalahari where the sand is deep, the days are scorching, and the wildlife roams free. It is our first stop in Botswana, and we are eager to see what's waiting out there.
Early morning here, Mabuasehube Game Reserve. We've woken up at sunrise to take an early morning game drive, and the sun rising, and down the road here we see some animal tracks, which we'll take a closer look at, see what was in the camp last night. Here's an example of where you can see the toenail on the front of the print. Of course, cats retract their claws when they walk, so you won't get that kind of imprint. Come up the road. It's always nice. You can see the fresh tracks by what's been laid over your vehicle tracks. They go all the way up to the fire. We can see that they've got 4 indentations where the toenails are sticking out, and that means it's probably a hyena. And also a bit of a giveaway on that is that the front paws are bigger than the back paws. You can see where he headed off down there. Beautiful view. views in the game reserve, beautiful environment, spoilt by toilet paper. Everywhere you look, behind the bushes, in the campsite, is toilet paper. Is it really too difficult to just take your toilet paper with you? Look at it. In the beautiful Mabuasehube game reserve, a nice lean-to being provided. What do stupid people do? Write things on the walls. Graffiti all over. Please do give birds water. I have a farm in Africa. Please give birds water. What a stupid thing to suggest.
Leaving Mabuasehube, the heat is relentless. A brown snake eagle and a buttelier share a drink. It's beautiful. While wildebeeste huddle in the shade, water is life out here, and we need to keep moving. We are sad that we didn't see the majestic black-maned Kalahari lions. They are truly a magnificent sight.
Hi, how are you? Are you recording me now? Must I put you on every time I want to record, and will you stay on, or are you going to go off? I'm not sure how this works.
So we're taking on the cut line when we've left Mabuasehube National Park. It's about 180 or 200 kilometers of sand road to Ghanzi. Some very thick patches of sand. Some areas where there's extremely heavy corrugations, mainly caused because people don't let the air out their tires.
We've finished the gravel road and now we are turning onto the tar road, heading for Ghanzi. Dave's just... What are you doing, Dave?
Connect the compressor, get some air back in the tires.
Fantastic it is to be able to drive and work.
Yes, tell them.
It's fantastic. Not? No, it is fantastic. We wouldn't be able to be here if we couldn't work. So, yeah, thanks to Starlink.
We can do 100 kilometers an hour down the freeway while connected with satellite dishes. It's quite amazing.
Yeah. Checking emails and I'm on WhatsApp. So it's like we're sitting in the office. It's fantastic.
A lot of the roads in Botswana are really bad, the dirt roads. But the arterial roads, the tar roads that connect the major centres are generally in very good condition. One of the risks though is crossing animals. It happens frequently. And a lot of the times you'll find that the roads are not fenced off. But they have a very wide road reserve on each side. It's about 25 or 30 meters wide. So there's plenty of time to see when animals are approaching, and you need to keep a careful eye out for that. At night, well, you shouldn't be driving at night. It's just too dangerous because of the animals. But if you do drive at night, you really have to drive at 60 kilometers an hour and keep a sharp lookout that a wild animal or a domestic animal doesn't walk out of the grass. In town, the speed limit is 30. When they say 30, they mean 30. After driving on the highway at 120, the 30 feels like you stopped.
but don't be tempted to go any faster. Everyone does 30. If you do 45, you stand out like a sore thumb, you're going to get pulled over.
About 14 kilometers south-southwest of Ghanzi, we arrive at Ghanzi Trailblazers campsite, our stop for the night and a gateway to something truly special. Tomorrow, we step into the world of the San, or Bushman people, and we are excited and honored to see their way of life firsthand.
I'm one of the guys who have promised someone where I've learned the San people's skills from, that I won't let his culture go through my fingers. I'm going to keep this from the coming generation.
A walk with the San is a journey into the past, one where every plant has a purpose, every track tells a story, and survival is an art passed down for generations. From ancient medicines still in use today to hunting techniques as precise as they are ingenious, this experience is a glimpse into a way of life that has stood the test of time. If you ever find yourself near Ghanzi, this is something you definitely don't want to miss.
We left Ghanzi early this morning and came to Maun, where we are now, and we're heading to the Khwai River. It's extremely dry, there's very little water around. So the Khwai River generally has always got water, and because of that always has a lot of animals, so we should have some fun there.
It's about, if I look at the temperature on the car, the outside temperature right now is 40 degrees Celsius. I can tell you it is boiling hot. But yeah, we're very excited about visiting Khwai River once again.
After a long stretch on the mostly gravel road, we're heading to Magotho River campsite on the Khwai River. This campsite is managed by the local community. The Khwai Community Concession is sandwiched between Moremi and Savuti, Chobe, national parks on the edge of the Okavango Delta. Khwai is 150 kilometers from Maun via the Mabebe route, which avoids having to pay park fees to transit through Moremi. It's a special place where conservation and culture meet, and if all goes well, our home for the next few nights.
Okay, so we've just arrived at Khwai River Community Campsite, and we didn't have a booking, but Dave managed to organize. So we have got a campsite, we are following the rangers up ahead. How lucky are we?
Flowing along the northern border of Moremi, the Khwai River is a year-round water source in an otherwise dry landscape. Fed by the Okavango Delta, it transforms this region into a wildlife magnet, where predators, grazers and birdlife all converge in a delicate balance of survival.
Khwai River, the stretch along here, is a very unique environment. So much animal activity. Within 15 minutes of arriving here, we've seen buffalo, elephant, giraffe, lion, lechwe, African jacana, fish eagle, warthog, guinea fowl. There's just stacks of game. Vultures. You don't need anything more once you spend some time on this river.
It's absolutely beautiful.
As the sun dips below the horizon, we finally settle in beside the Khwai River. After a long day on the road, there's nothing quite like the sight and the sound of the bush at sunset, and the promise of what tomorrow might bring.
So we woke up this morning super early and the lion walked into our camp. We were joking the whole night. Geez, it would be really a MustBeMad moment if we get trapped by lions. Well, no. We had no cameras, no nothing. We sneaked out of the tent and now we're sitting here and she's so beautiful. Let me show you.
Last night, this lioness was hunting with her two sisters. They chased an impala across the river, but she did not make it across. For the rest of the day, she tries on various occasions, but can't seem to take the plunge. A few more strides, then she stops. The risk is too great. The river is deep, and the current and the river occupants are unforgiving. We hold our breaths and hope that she will eventually make it across to join the rest of her tribe on the other side.
Since 5 o'clock this morning we've had a visitor. She went down to the water to drink briefly, and we used that opportunity to quickly pack up the tent and get in the car, because we were stuck in the tent for 3 hours. We couldn't get out. Well, we haven't had coffee yet or breakfast or anything. While she's in residence, we have to remain in our car until she decides to leave, which could be this evening. With our campsite temporarily hijacked by royalty, we set off in search of some slightly larger, less carnivorous company. And in Botswana, when you look for giants, you find them. Welcome to the Giants of Khwai. You can see how dusty these elephants are. They've obviously walked a long way in the dry, dusty conditions. Must be a fantastic feeling to eventually put your hot feet in this cool water and drink as much as you like. Even the hippo's coming close to say hello to them. Maybe he's an old friend. You can see how these female elephants are protecting the baby. Look carefully, you can just see his trunk underneath and at the front of the elephant on the left. Waiting, it's a bit like waiting for the royal baby to be shown to you. Eventually we're given a glimpse, and the elephants get a bit comfortable both with us and also I think with those hippos that are quite close. Aside, no one's a threat. And let us have a closer look at the little one. The hippo having a feed. The oxpeck on his back, cleaning off the ticks and lice for him. And an African jacana who's using the opportunity that the hippo provides for disturbing all the little insects and frogs and little things. So he can have a meal as well. Hippo normally graze at night. It's not often you see them out during the day. And when they graze, they can walk up to 5 kilometers away with a pool that they spend their days in. The skin's very sensitive, so they're normally underwater during the day. Also known for killing humans. Hippo is a very dangerous animal, kills more humans than any other animal in Africa.
Buffalo swimming across the river. Looking nice and fat and healthy. Enjoying all the lush green grass next to the river. Very dangerous animals, so we'll stay out of their way. Giraffes are very vulnerable when they're drinking. They're extremely cautious. I'll drink a bit and I'll look around, then drink some more.
After an afternoon with the giants, we head back to camp, hoping our regal roommate has finally decided to move on, or at the very least, left us a positive review.
Goes back again, messing up our afternoon. We can't do anything. You can see how she's panting because it's between 49 and 48 degrees here at the moment. It's extremely hot.
As the sun dips low, the queen of the camp takes one last sip, stretches out her royal limbs, and finally grants us our campsite back. With any luck, the night will be uneventful.
Sun has set. And all the daytime animals have gone into their beds. It's time for the nighttime guys to get busy.
Dive, Michael. Dive. There's lions here.
Which side?
No, they're right here on my side. Right on my side. No. Let's film them.
Wait.
Take my phone. Take my phone.
Wait, there's a couple of them. Just wait. Try and open on the end here.
I
don't know if they're fighting or mating, but either way we don't want to participate. Just be quiet.
Oh, they're leaving. Shh. I think they're leaving. Shh.
It's early morning on the Khwai River again. Another very restless night. The lions, a lot of lions in the campsite last night, and they were fighting right next to the car. Terrifying, the noise they made. Everywhere I look there's lion tracks. A bit difficult to show you. But we've got up now and I'm trying to scan around my torch. Although it's quite light, the torch will still pick up the reflection of their eyes if they're in the bush here. Haven't heard them this morning. Would expect to hear them. Might have moved a bit away. They might be having a little lion, I'm not too sure. Beautiful fishy here on the water. makes it all look peaceful. But we know it's not.
The golden rule of the Delta's Fight Club: cause absolute chaos at midnight, then spend the entire next day recovering under a tree. Welcome to the hunters of the Delta.
A sign that there's a kill nearby. Vultures in the tree. Just need to find the lions. Came around the corner. Found a buffalo. Obviously very recently killed. And not too far away, about 50 meters away, we find male lion and the lioness lying in the shade. He had a good feed. What a leopard in the bottom of the bush there. Quite hard to spot. Buzzing back. Very good camouflage. I'm quite lucky to spot her. A pack of wild dogs we stumbled across next to the river. And we've got a couple of young ones that are feeding on something. Beautiful animals. Not too many of them left in the wild because they are extremely successful hunters. I think a lion is successful something like 40% of the time that they chase something. And these animals are closer to 80-90. Every animal has its own unique color scheme, so they can be identified. In the pack, the alpha male and alpha female. The alpha female is the main leader. Only the alpha male and alpha female mate. When they have little ones, one of the females will stay behind and look after the pups, while the others go and hunt.
We found the wild dogs again. They're having a nice afternoon snooze in the cool shade before they have to be up and ready to hunt again tonight.
After days of dodging lions and melting in the 49-degree heat, Dave can finally prepare a meal in peace, except for the flies.
We're here in a beautiful setting in Khwai River, and today we're going to make some fillet steak for lunch. We bought a whole fillet in the butchery. When you visit the butcheries in Botswana, often the cuts you see in the remote areas won't be anything you recognize, and if there are T-bone steaks or anything like that, they cut them extremely thin, and it's how the local people like to eat it. But if you take your time and ask the butcher, has he got any fillet, he'll often, if you're nice to him, he'll go in the back and he'll dig out a whole fillet for you, and you'll end up with a cut of meat that you're familiar with. It won't be trimmed, so it'll have all of this on it, the silver part which you don't want. That's hard and chewy, so you just need to trim that, sharp knife, get under there and take that off. That's trimmed nicely. What I'm going to do now is cut a couple of steaks for us from the middle section, and then the thinner bits we like to use and we make a stew out of it. There we go. That'll go for the stew. Got 4 nice steaks which I'm going to pan fry. Lots of salt. We don't use any pepper because the pepper will burn. In we go with our steaks. Want to get a nice good sear on them. Want them medium rare. Now we can flip these over. Get that sear going. And we need some butter. Everything is better with butter. So we have a nice big knob of butter. Let that fry up. Not getting enough heat here. I think I'm going to pop this on the fire to turbocharge it a bit. Straight in there. Now that that's cooked a bit better, we can add a bit of black pepper. If any of it lands in the pan, not all blown away, we can baste this a bit with some of our molten butter. And that's ready to rest. So we take it out and we'll let that rest for a bit. Elephant coming. Don't really want to be eaten by anything or stomped by anything. There were some kudu females that came down and drank water a little bit earlier, and something barked and frightened them and they ran back into the bush. The warthogs that were playing in the mud, they scarpered. So there was something around here which delayed us getting to this process. Always worry when you can't see a single impala or a zebra or anything. Warthog, kudu, there's nothing. Lechwe. Elephant, of course, wouldn't be scared of the lion, so he wouldn't care. When all the other game disappears, perhaps we need to be doing the same. Got our butter nice and hot again. Get that over there. I'm going to let that rest for about 10 minutes and then we'll give it a cut and see what it's like. I'm starving, so let's hope it's good. Right, our meat has been resting for about 10 minutes. Let's get one out. Slice it open if we can, before the flies have it. See how it is. Looks beautiful, nicely cooked. Not too overdone. Let's have a little taste. Yeah. Beautiful. Botswanan beef is really, really tasty. They're not grown on feedlots. You see massive herds grazing, wandering freely all around the fridges of the Central Kalahari Game Reserve. And you can taste it in the beef. It's a real beefy flavour. It's not a bland flavour. Even though it's fillet, which sometimes can be bland. Fair enough, we did put a little bit of butter on it. But it ends up beautifully flavourful. Delicious.
What are you doing, guys?
We're doing a butcher job on this Ace Pro dive case, so we can plug a USB-C power cable into it while it's on the roof. So now we can give it permanent power and it'll never go flat.
Show me what you did.
We butchered a hole in it with the drilling machine. Not the right tool for the right job, but it's worked.
Did you have an audience?
We got elephants. Not too happy with the drilling, but that's what happens.
For 2 nights, nature kept us on edge. Now, as we roll on, the warning lights start their own little game. And this time, it's not the lions giving us trouble.
We're out on our early morning game drive and discovered we've got issues. The first issue is that our freezer is flashing an alarm light. It's still frozen right at this second, but it's not going to remain that way. There's a flashing red light that says halt. What that fault might be is anybody's guess. There doesn't seem to be any fault codes or anything to try and diagnose, so that's going to be interesting. A little bit annoying because not even 6 months old. And the other problem we have is we've got car warning lights which we need to go and resolve. Don't know what it all means, but we've got a little spanner with an exclamation mark which I've never seen before. We've got a little orange engine, traction control light is on. I'm hoping that all it means is that there's no traction control. It doesn't concern me. But we may have to make a 2.5 or 3 hour journey back to Maun, to the Toyota dealership. We can't work out what's going on here. All of which is quite inconvenient. Not what we expect from serviced or new things.
With water rising beneath us and warning lights glowing ahead, it's a good time to remember that this is all part of overlanding. And just when you start feeling sorry for yourself, nature comes and makes it all worthwhile. Welcome to Bird Alley, as we named this stretch on our GPS.
Here we've got a saddle-wound stalk, and next to the river, every tree we see is filled with raptors. It's unbelievable, we've never seen anything like it. So here we've got one of the kingfisher family. It's called a pied kingfisher. Beautiful black and white markings. And what they do is they'll sit on a branch like that and look for fish. And when they're ready, they take off, hover, and dive. Really spectacular.
Beautiful African fish eagle. Sitting in the tree nice and low so we can get a decent shot. Quite a few raptors coming in to clean up, enjoy the spoils, together with a few marabou storks, also enjoying a nice easy free meal.
So Dave's friendly enough to make a coffee every morning, boil the water,
Preheat the plunger, very important.
preheat the plunger.
Bit of boiling water in each cup, preheat the cup.
Can you tell me a bit about all the flies?
Well, as soon as you move in the morning, the flies are on you.
Why is that?
Well, I don't know. That's Stephen. Out here, the road doesn't care about your plans. It throws lions at your campsite, heat at your back, and problems under your hood. But it also gives you moments. Golden light on the river, the hum of the wild, the feeling that you are exactly where you're meant to be. Tomorrow, we fix the car on the fridge. But today, we sit, we watch, and we let Botswana sink in.
Alternator, the alternator, the alternator. Alternate in the alternator.
I did it!
Stay on the road.